வரீங்களா? நான் என்ன சொல்லிக்கணும்? பசங்களா வாங்க.
Hello, I am Bosky and you're watching the Art of Unwinding channel. Today I am sharing a video of a trip that we made to Spiti Valley last year. My friends and I, we had been to Leh Ladakh a couple of times in 2013 and 2016, and so this time we wanted to do Spiti Valley. And this was the route, an 8-day trip starting and ending in Chandigarh. So, a couple of weeks before that, we packed off our bikes from Bangalore, sent it by Gati, and then booked a flight ticket from Bangalore to Chandigarh. And in Chandigarh, we took our bikes from the Gati godown to Manmohan Auto Stores, and they did a fantastic job prepping the bikes for the trip. We were 4 on motorcycles and 3 in a car. And what's a visit to Chandigarh without a visit to a microbrewery? Here we go. And soon we were up in the hills in higher altitude. The temperature dropped, the air became cleaner, and we were like little children having a great time. We planned most of the days in such a way that we had a lot of time to stop, take photographs, enjoy the scenery. There was hardly a day we had to rush and get to a destination. We normally stuck to between 5 to 7 hours on the road, and at the end of the day, most days, we were still quite fresh and enjoying the evening. The next day, the scenery got even prettier and the temperature dropped even more, and we were having much more fun. And this night, we had chosen to stay at a resort by the Baspa river. This resort was by far one of the best places we have ever stayed anywhere. By the river, they had great staff, they were friendly, the food was fantastic, the Swiss tents were great, the access road to the place in and out was even great, muddy, but then that's the fun. The river was right next to the resort, and everything about this place was absolutely perfect. We planned a 2-night stay here because this location was also chosen being close to Chitkul. Chitkul is the last village before the border. So the next day, which was not a trip to another location, it was a day ride. So we took a ride to Chitkul the next day. The road to Chitkul was very scenic, very beautiful. It was quite broken in several places. It was not a great road, but the scenery was so good, the road really didn't matter. Also, we had no luggage on the motorcycles, so they were much lighter and so much easier to ride, and we had an absolute blast on the 4 Himalayans. On the way back from Chitkul, we decided to get our feet wet. So we stopped, trekked down to a river and spent an hour in this place. This mountain water was so pure, clean and cold. The next day, we left for Naco. We passed by the Baspa hydel plant, and then as we kept going, we could see the scenery changing, the greenery was reducing, and it was getting more brown, dusty. I think we were also climbing in altitude. Within a couple of hours, the landscape changed so much that we could hardly find any vegetation, and this is a clear indication of how cold it could be getting here in winter. There was a lot of road construction going on right through our journey, especially the stretch between getting up to Naco. There were a lot of gravel and jelly sections, uphills, downhills. They were pretty slippery, but then we managed it quite well. And a word of thanks and gratitude to the BRO who worked tirelessly to keep these roads in shape so that we can travel and enjoy. Our accommodation at Naco was another beautiful camp, and we stayed in tents. The big difference between our previous night and here was the temperature. Once the sun went down, there was no way we could sit outside. We had to huddle up in our tents. The next day we left for Kaza. The previous evening we came to know that Kunzumla was closed. It was all iced up and it had not yet opened. So our original plan to go to Kaza, Kunzumla and go around and come back from Manali side had to change. So we figured we'll get to Kaza and then we'll decide how we could go about it. As we kept heading north, the temperature again started to drop, and we were now right in the middle of the cold desert of the Himalayas. the more stunning the scenery and the roads got, the more treacherous they also got. There were some pretty narrow, tricky sections we had to navigate through, and there was very little oncoming traffic. But yes, whenever it did show up, it did pose a bit of a problem. And like I said earlier, we planned our riding day in such a way that we had at least 2-3 hours of daylight once we get to our destination. And this hotel was situated in a beautiful valley, had mountains around it, so we decided to change up and take a nice walk around. And so it was confirmed that Kunzumla was closed. So the next day, without luggage, we took only what was necessary and we decided to make a day trip to Kunzumla. It was going to be a long day, however, why not? The four of us on bikes were connected by Bluetooth, and there was a lot of chatter going on. However, today there was not much of it, simply because the scenery was so beautiful that we were just admiring it and in awe of what we were surrounded by. Finally, we got to Kunzumla, and seeing the snow, I think we all went crazy. Living in the south, there is absolutely no chance of seeing snow. So it was like kindergarten time. We were having such a great time playing, throwing, making a snowman. It was an amazing time.
So, what do you think, Mr.? What do you think of the Kunzum? Would you?
Awesome place. But great riding. Actually, it's nice. It felt nice. A good tick of the bucket list. Thanks a lot.
Right, thank you. What do you think of the Kunzum Pass, Master?
Oh, you want to reply to my question?
To my
The
question.
Kunzum Pass is a fantastic place. We all had a great time.
And your insights have been
the digestion has taken place very, very quickly. And Sriram's snowman was amazing.
नहीं पीछे what Mr. BBK?
Unforgettable experience. So, as Master said, or as my friend Shivraj said, we are shaken, not stirred. Next time we'll be stirred also. Thank you.
Brother, what do you think?
Tiring,
Yes, it is.
but awesome fun. Great fun.
We got some snow to play with.
We got some snow to play with.
The child in you came up again.
Yeah.
Mr. Ski, what do you say? That says a lot, yes.
I have to check if all my body parts are in their
In the
original
right
places.
place.
I definitely think a few have shifted, for sure. I might need to start wearing my underwear in my neck now.
That's cut.
Let's not go further than that.
What do you think, Shivraj? How do you think it went?
Went as expected.
As expected, all
Bumpy.
right. No surprise.
No trip to the Himalayas is complete without
This kind of a
a
ride,
shake
huh?
up. And hopefully we will be able to see the other side of Kunzum Pass
Sometime
in the
next few years.
Next few years. Look forward to that.
See the other side.
Ciao.
Kunzumla done, then we headed back to Kaza. We had to go back, no way to go ahead as per the original plan. And so the next day from Kaza, we headed back towards Chandigarh and made a reservation at Rampur, halfway to Chandigarh, spent the night there, and the next day headed back to Chandigarh. We missed actually going across to other side to Chandratal Lake. However, I think we'll do it next year, that is 2021. I hope we can. So we come to the end of this trip and the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you did, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. Thank you for watching.